Alrighty, we are here. Hi, baby. Come here. Elora. Good girl, good girl. The woodgy woosh, and let's snap you onto this. Oh, what a good girl. Oh, you go woosh. And let's get you out of here. Good girl. Let's grab our collapsible water thingy so we can hang it on here with the rest of our stuff. And this is where we are going to be training today. Right, baby girl? Look at you walking so good right off the bat. And look at that cute bandana. So we just got here. She's super, super excited. So that's what I was looking for. She stopped herself. She's self-corrected. Now, it's not that I mind a dog sniffing, but not when they're being trained, and not if it's becoming too distracted or they're becoming too obsessed with it. So, probably never being walked around in a state forest before like this. We are trying to see if we can get her, to sniff. You're so happy. Oh my goodness, you're so happy. I want a little giggle, pibble. I have no clue if the camera was aimed. We all know that helps. Good and nice and excited. So watch how I do this. No. All I had to do was say no. Obviously, my kisses got her all excited. But good girl, good girl. Woo-woo-woo-woo. I actually wanted to work on the sniffing, but I guess with all the other lessons we've done with her, she's pretty good at that, not sniffing. I was just kind of hoping, being out here in the state forests, she might be a little bit more tempted. But we'll keep working on it if she does do it. But we're just started our walk, just started our training. I'm going to get her to make one little mistake just so I can once again show the importance of the word no and the importance of praise. So I'm going to kind of go a little faster. No. She's self-corrected. She is so good right now, I can't even use the word no. Oh. And then you can see she tries to sniff, or she starts to sniff. She just self-corrects herself. If you've trained a dog properly, you've used the word no properly, they've learned to identify what causes you to stop them, and then they just do it, condition themselves. There we go. That's the praise one I wanted to show. So you don't always have to use the word no. Good girl, good girl. You can use praise. Let's see if we can get her to be bad one more time. Not that she was really being bad. Oh, come on, please, sniff, sniff. No. And then that's the way the word no works. Good girl. No. Good girl. Woojie woosh. This is killing you. You're such a good girl. Oh, more kisses. More kisses. More kisses. Whittle. Good girl. Hi, little pebble. So, you'll notice usually when I'm training a dog, not on the elite program, but any other of the programs, I only post one video per dog per lesson. And the reason I do this is I don't want to inundate a bazillion videos where people might stop following me simply because it's like, this guy's posting something all the time. But you'll notice with the elite program, I can post 15 to 25 videos in the 4.5 hour lesson I'm with the dog. And the reason for this is actually very simple. The customers aren't here. So this can give them a good idea as if they were here, because as you know, I talk about what I'm doing. Good girl. I narrate and I talk about the reasons I do things. So it's almost as if they're here and I'm kind of educating them. This, of course, has a wonderful side effect of giving resource material to all the other people who have training with me or who haven't trained with me to understand how I do things. But the other reason why I do it is I am strongly against boarding and training or leaving your dog with somebody. The reason why is there's so many trainers who use a very heavy-handed approach to training a dog because they'll get results quicker. It's not for the good of the dog, but it is speeding up the process because that's how animals think. And so I'm very much against it because there's no checks and balances. The customer is not there to actually make sure that nothing overly harsh or whatever is being happening to the dog. So when somebody signs up for the elite program, the reason I have 20 some videos in 4 hours is it means I'm literally posting a video every 10 or so minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And so they can see in the dog's demeanor, you can see in this little demeanor, oh, the woozy, that the dog personality isn't changing. It's not showing signs of fear. So on the days I do an elite program, and I'll only do one elite dog in a day, and I won't do any other customers if I can help it, because I'll be exhausted. I post the videos really as a check and balance on myself. Not that I'm worried about it, but so the customers understand that the way I train dogs has a lot of love involved. Now, I'm not saying I won't correct the dog. Everybody knows I'll correct the dog. It's tough love. I'd rather correct your dog than see your dog hit by a car. But that is the actual reason why so many videos are inundated in a 4.5 hour period. Now, the one thing I will mention is during this entire monologue, soliloquy, educational narration, aside, whatever you want to call it, I haven't had to correct her once. She's walking perfectly by my side out here. Ooh, look at all those pretty flowers. That's what training is. This is her 5th drop-off lesson. So she is fully trained. She'll do it off-leash. You've seen her do it off-leash for her entire family with my dog running around. Now she's going to do it off-leash out here in the woods. So Elora, sit. Good girl. Stay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Is actually performing perfectly. I've only had to give her one little correction. Down. Good girl. Stay. So what I'm doing right now is, it's not even necessary, but I always tell customers, once the dog is trained, come down. Good girl. Stay. 5 minutes a day on leash, not even off leash, just not advanced stuff, just 5 minutes a day. Sit. Good. Stay. Good girl. Kitty to woochie woochie woosh. Hi to wooda wooders. Stay. Oh my goodness. 5 minutes a day after a dog is trained. Just basically like a checks and balance. Just basically making sure you're solidifying what's been done. No. So I was just stopping her from sniffing there. Good girl. 5 minutes a day. That just keeps them in the loop. We don't want them to get out of the loop and think that they don't have to listen anymore. Come. Good girl, come. Sit. Oh, you're the bestest. You're the westest. Give me kisses. Give me kisses. Give me more kisses. So gentle. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Now, whether you let a dog kiss you on the face, whether you let a dog gently come up to you without knocking you over, these actually are personalized goals of people. Personally, I don't mind a dog kissing me on the face. We've seen enough videos of that happening. I have customers who don't like it at all. My son, believe it or not, doesn't like a dog kissing him on the face. Oh my gosh, who can believe that? My daughter, on the other hand, like me, is totally, no sniffing, totally into it. Oh, okay, let's talk about what just happened there. I'm talking to you about kisses or gently jumping up, which don't bother me as long as the dog is polite about it or has been allowed to do it like I allowed her. But in the middle of doing this, it's called multitasking, if I let her sniff, she's going to learn the best time to disobey me is when I'm distracted. She's going to learn the best time to disobey me is when I'm not paying attention. By literally stopping a sentence with you and telling her to stop, no, good girl, besides it making it look like I have ADHD, no, I don't. I'm just this way. Probably because of dog training. Good, get the woochy whoosh. If you have to always be focused on the fact that if you give your dog, ooh, a runner. Is that what you said? Good morning. How are you doing today? I am doing wonderful. No. Oh, did you want to say hello to the runner? So you saw she ran by, and all I had to do was say no to Elora, and Elora, no, kept it. No, she's self-correcting herself. I'm going to slow it down now, see if she pays attention. No. Oh, look at her, totally on point. Good girl. Speed it up, slow it down. Speed it up, slow it down. Making myself unpredictable. We'll talk about that on the next video. So I don't know, I'll try to zoom in. I don't know if you guys can all see that deer there. This is spontaneous training. Oops. Once you zoom in, it's a little harder to keep the phone where the deviation's perfect. Okay, look how good that, look at that cute little pupper deer. But more importantly, not even interested. Good girl. Such an obedient little girl. Hi, baby. So I said I was going to post a video of creating unpredictability. Good girl. So me running really fast and stopping on a dime, me going the other way. Now, the reason why you create this unpredictability is because the dog could mess up, sit, and they don't know what you're about to do. It actually causes them to have to pay more attention to you. And remember, a dog that is paying attention to you, good girl, isn't paying attention to everything else. So by creating unpredictable, but most people when they have a dog, they become so predictable to the dog that the dog doesn't learn to pay attention or get better. So when all of a sudden something happens where the people need the dog to pay attention to them, the dog wasn't paying attention. Good girl. 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 Am I making this hard? Oh, Jawushi. Am I making this hard? Oh. Good girl. Look at that attention she gives me. What a whoopie whoops. Good girl. Oh, good girl. No. Can't sniff. I know. Life sucks. There's so many nice things to sniff. Good girl. Stay. Stay. Good girl. Oh my goodness. You're so pretty. Stay. Good girl. Notice how I keep talking to her. She can't read my mind. She doesn't know what I'm about to do. Sit. Oh my goodness. Oh, the widow. Oh, the woody, 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 woo, woo, woo. Stay. Good girl. Once again, a hand signal. Good girl. That time she chose not to sniff. So I'm going to get farther away from her. I'm going to do a come command, which can be a little difficult with the leash dragging because it gets tangled up in their legs. It's even more difficult because I'm going to be going up a hill here. Obviously, in the middle of this command, I'm going to try to do an override and make her lay down. But now she's in the wild, so she's got a little bit more confidence that, or she might have more confidence that I can't catch her, which is why we initially do this with the leash dragging to make it easier, and we do it in the middle of nowhere where there's no freeways or stuff like that. Good girl. Come here. Come on. Good girl. Down. No, down. Good girl. Perfect besides that little sniff, but you saw how I stopped that sniff just by throwing the word no. Come here. Good girl, good girl. You know what that deserves? You know what that deserves. It deserves me good as a little butt, and it deserves some kisses. I love you so much as a little widow. And then we'll go right into training. Good girl. In fact, good girl, good girl. Good girl. We'll drop the leash. Heel is one of the more difficult things to do, going up a hill. Good girl. Good girl. No. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Good, yo, poppers. So we're going to do a little bit of on-leash training again, just for 30 seconds to 45 seconds. And the reason for that, this is the word I was trying to think of the other time when I was on the video. Sit, when I was saying you switch it up, you be unpredictable, is to keep her honest. By doing it on-leash, I have much more control, which means I can correct even the tiniest mistakes, because sit. Once you get to the off-leash training or the leash dragging, there's no physical way to correct her. And over time, they start to learn you don't physically correct me anymore. So that's why you intermittent throw on-leash training in. Yes, breathing heavy. We've been pushing it pretty hard, but that's what we're doing right now. Nope. Good girl. Down, down. Good girl is just keeping her honest. Ooh, we got a runner coming. Good girl. Down. Down. Good girl. Stay. I don't think I told her to stay, so I can't get upset with her. Stay. Now I told her to stay. Good girl. Good girl. Widow wobble. Stay. Have a good day. Hopefully you can beat most of the humidity, but I'm already sweating. I didn't want him to think I was videotaping him running up. That was excellent. Anytime I get a deer or a person or a runner, I am going to take advantage of that. Good baby, 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 woo, woo, woo. Okay, come. Sit. Hi. Give me the widow. Look at that little tail wagging. Look at the widow tail. Hi, baby. Sit down. Stay. Okay, so this set of... Hello! This set of on-leash training, I actually didn't have this one scheduled, but a lot of things I do is unscheduled. I'm not going to give her a command. I'm just going to literally just stand here. Morning. You don't want to just teach a dog to listen when you tell it to. This is a mistake a lot of amateurs make. You want to teach a dog? No. No sniffing. No sniffing. Nope. I know he was a runner. Down. Stay. So you want to teach a dog it has to listen even when you don't tell it to. Now, what you just saw when she started sniffing and I said no when she thought she was supposed to sit up, it's because she wasn't paying attention to me. She was paying attention to the runner. That's why it's so important, good girl, say, to have the commands at ready, have the praise at ready, and have the word no at ready, because she was so focused on that runner, good girl, heel, that she wasn't paying attention to me at all. You noticed when I do the intermittent on-leash training and I make myself unpredictable, she pays more attention to me. But because she wasn't paying attention to me, and all of a sudden I went, or I said no, I can't remember which one I did, she guessed. She's like, oh, I wasn't paying attention. So she guessed at what command she thought I wanted to do. Now, if she'd have been paying attention, she wouldn't have had to guess. Now, yes, that is technically disobedience. A lot of people wish their dog was that disobedient, meaning her disobedience is now at a level of most dogs listening great, because that runner ran by, the runner right before him went by, and she didn't move a muscle. And we've already had a bunch of runners go by already. Everybody's trying to get out here before it gets too ugly. Like I said, I'm sweating right now. It's my old man look. Hello there. I'm sweating right now, and it's only like 8:30. Good girl, good girl. So the next time I videotape, I'll be doing this off leash. But right now we're doing leash dragging. Sit, stay. Oh, I thought that was a fly, but it was just, I don't know how that got on her. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Stay. Stay. Good girl. Stay. Stay. Woobers. Come on. Now, come on is more of a relaxed command. I'm just going to go into a walk. Come on just means, hey, hang out with me and be good. So what we're doing right now is testing that even when she's not really under a command, she's kind of released. She's not going to take advantage of it and start running through the forest, because you know how hard it would be to catch her. Well, actually, with a leash dragon, it'd be pretty easy. She'd get caught up. But you want so right now, we're not actually giving commands. We're just basically, but she's had so much training and so many commands in her that she's literally being perfect even without a command. Okay, she is doing freaking amazing. Once again, she's not under a command right now, but I'll throw one in right now. Down. Good girl, stay. You're so perfect. Good girl, stay. Sit. Nope. Sit. See, you lifted her butt a little bit. We can't let her lift her butt. Give me that tongue. I'm going to punish you for lifting your tongue, or lifting your butt. Punish. Oh, punish, punish. Good girl. Hand signal. Good girl. Nope. So she is in the middle of the woods, in the middle of a state park. All the little critters and stuff. Good girl. Come. Good girl, come. Good girl. Good girl, come. Good girl, come. Sit. And look at her. Heel. Good girl. Nope. Heel. Listening perfectly. This is the level of training everybody should have with a dog. Definitely, if you go through my elite program, this is definitely the type of training you will have. I think most of the training that she'll have now will be off leash. I might do a little on leash as to keep her honest, and I'll definitely do it on leash if we come across a deer or runners or stuff. Remember, this is only, let's jog a little bit. This is only her 5th visit with me. It's going uphill. I don't know if I want to jog. You know that video I said, old man look? I forgot to mention, I am 56 years old, so I am an old man. Oh, look at the woo-woos. So she's more released right now. She is doing freaking awesome. Good girl. Sit. Woobers. Where you go to whistle? Good girl. So you notice I just start walking. She's not under a command. And she's being so respectful, so polite. Oh my little pop-boys. So right now we're just imitating a casual walk in the woods. No commands, no heels or foots or sits or stays or down, just walking. I'd like it if she stayed near me. She would be allowed to get ahead of me a little bit. What I define a little bit depends on the dog I'm working with. So right now, because this is her first off leash in a state forest, in the woods, I would probably limit her to like 5 or 6 feet. While Pizzazz, I still keep Pizzazz at around a maximum of 50-foot range, because I don't know what else is out there. When we get to a turn like this, I don't know what's coming this way. So with Pizzazz, I'd call her back to me, or if we're going over a hill. Now, of course, remember, I don't care how well trained your dog's, like Pizzazz, super well trained, or even Elora here, incredibly well trained. if you see somebody, you put your dog on a leash. Quit trying to show off. Now, the reason you put your dog on a leash is you don't know if that person has fear of dogs. You don't know if that person's ever been attacked by a dog. You don't know if another dog or a wildlife, a bear or something, is on the other side of a hill or coming around the corner. When you get cocky and you're walking your dog off leash, and when I was younger, believe me, I used to do that. I'd walk Lily off leash. Now, she was allowed to sniff, obviously, but I didn't want her to get that mud on her face, so I called her with a little praise. I would do that all the time with dogs, Nightwind, Moonshadow, Milo, all the dogs I've owned in the past, kind of showing off or whatever. But you know what? It takes one car. It takes one bear. It takes one. Yeah, that's really what changed me when I came across a bear with Lily in the Appalachian Mountains. Is, you know what? It's not going to hurt, even no matter how well trained your dog is, to be on leash. And like I said, when other people see your dog on leash and their dog is off leash, if there's going to be a problem, it is 100% their fault. You can at least control your dog with a leash, and then you can protect your dog by getting between you and the other dog, or other measures to protect your dog. It's a respect thing. So right now, I've been paying attention. You notice she's by my side, but I'm always looking. I'm looking at what's coming. And we have that runner now. Sit. So I'll tell her to sit, and I will put her back on the leash. Good girl. Hello. How you doing? Look at that perfect little girl. Not him. He's not a perfect little girl. I'm talking about this perfect little girl. I keep her on leash for a little bit. But it's a respect issue. So Elora is listening. Off leash, that runner was coming. So, of course, I put her back on leash more for respect for him. Like I said, he might have been chased down by a dog as a kid, or he might have been attacked by a dog out here in these trails. I don't know what's going on in his mind, or when somebody sees me with Pizzazz, they don't know that I'm a professional dog trainer. They don't know how well trained Pizzazz is. So it's kind of being a disservice to them, on my part, because I'm not having the empathy of thinking that there's more to a story than just my dog is well trained. They don't know that. Just put the dog on the leash, darn it. Now, when you have these gaps where I take her off leash, but you notice, kind of like I heard that runner coming, so I turned around, saw the runner. He was still a good distance away. If you have your dog off leash and you are not 100% paying attention to your dog, because I see this happen all the time, where people will have their dogs off leash, they'll be scrolling on their phone. Like right now, I'm holding my phone. I'm not even looking at it. So that's was probably why a lot of times when I'm videotaping the training, I've got the dog I'm training off kilter, or I might not even have the dog in the picture, because I'm just holding the phone aiming, but I'm really paying attention to what's going on. Like right now, I'm looking forward. So like when you see me, like when I was at Devil's Lake last week, and it looked like I was right on the cliff's edge. No, my hand was there, but my body, believe me, my body was 2-3 feet away from that edge. But anyway, I digress. So basically, Elora, she's on leash again right now. We'll take her back off. Like I said, most of this lesson will be off leash. Put her back on leash for the runner, and I just haven't taken her back off yet. I'll take her off in a second. So that bowl right there, that would have been actually the first place that I would have trained Elora off leash. That's what all dogs that I do off leash on this lesson in the woods, I always start their off leash training there, because it's kind of away from the trail. It's a bowl, so that for them to actually run away, they'd have to go up the bowl. Elora is ahead of schedule on everything. She's been ahead of schedule since day one. Now, remember, that was just to get her attention on me. She wasn't doing anything wrong, because once again, she's not under a command. Basically, she's already been doing off-leash training for quite some time on this, on the main trail. I just, once again, as I was saying in the last video, I'm very aware of what's coming, what's going. The reason I wanted to videotape right there. So right now, I don't mind her getting a little ahead of me. Remember what I said about the 5 to 6 foot range? Nope. So she was starting to get to that 6 foot range. I used the positive method to get her back, but it wasn't quite enough. So the word no. The word no is your power word. If you've trained a dog properly and they associate the word no only with a correction and nothing else. See, a lot of people, they'll correct the dog and say sit or stay or down. Could you picture teaching a child mathematics by saying 2 plus 2, as in right when you tell them 4, you smack them or you yank them or you whatever type of physical punishment or correction you do? Well, that's what most people do with their dogs. They yank and say sit, they yank and say come, they yank and say stay, not realizing they're associating the yank with a command with a yank. Now, if you only use the word no when you do this, the dog learns, well, if I don't want to be corrected, I just got to make sure that they never say no. And the best way to make sure they never say no is to not do anything that would cause them to say no. In other words, they can teach themselves to avoid making mistakes. But if you yank and you say sit or stay or down or come, and most people watching this video, you still do that, and if you haven't come to me, I know you're doing it, think about it. Next time you correct your dog by pulling on a leash, look at the words you say. I promise you it's most likely not the word no. You're probably saying sit or stay, or you're saying the dog's name. So if you use a command when you correct the dog learns, well, if I want to avoid this person from correcting me, I got to make sure they're not allowed to tell me to sit or stay or come or down, which means you're actually teaching your dog to fight training and to be basically stubborn, as a lot of people say, but you're teaching them that they can't, damned if they do, damned if they can't, or damned if they do, damned if they don't. So they actually will challenge you much more frequently. But if you only have the no the physical correction associated with the word no, like I said, it becomes a power word. No. And you see how quickly that worked. Good girl. She was doing nothing wrong. I just wanted to show you it was a power word. Alrighty. This little section of the trail actually just hooks out, branches out, and then branches back in. Not many people use it. So, although I was doing the off-leash in the main section, this is actually one of the sections I like to use for off-leash training because I don't have to really worry about people or problems. I mean, wildlife, yeah, because now I am definitely smack dab right in the middle here. Hi, baby. Good girl. Good girl. So we are probably going on 9 o'clock. So we're 2 hours into this lesson, and we're about 2 miles into this 7-mile hike. In her case, most of it is being done off leash, unless, like I said, people, dogs, something like that. I mean, this is only her 5th lesson, but she is doing amazing, ahead of schedule versus pretty much any dog I've ever professionally trained. Besides my own, of course, because I'll have my dog's doing this at 8-9 weeks of age, which means right after I get them. But she is phenomenal, which means the family is phenomenal. There's things they have to work on. Oh, I wanted to mention that. So when they watch this video, if I forget to write it in their homework assignment when I get home, because I still got a few hours to go here, when her biggest weakness is other dogs that are out of control and want to pull towards her or lunge towards her and stuff like that. So she can ignore the runners, she can ignore dogs, but when the other dog is overly enthusiastic or overly boisterous, she has a tendency to want to break position. She doesn't, but you can see, like, if she was off leash, then I would be concerned. But of course, once again, only her 5th lesson. So hopefully the customers see this video and remind me that I have a specific homework assignment for them to get over that. But anyway, what I was saying is, so we're only about 2 miles into this 7-mile training session. Down, just. So that was a spot check. I like to call those flexes once in a while, just reminding her who the alpha dog is. Stay, without having to get physical or aggressive. Just throwing a command out there, seeing how well she's paying attention. Stay. Okay, come on, let's go. Good girl. You can get ahead of me if you want. You're not under commands right now. So I have to gauge this because it's about 9 o'clock, so I've had her for about 2 hours. But we're only 2 miles in, and this is 7 miles, so I always constantly have to keep gauging how far I have to go and how much time I have left, because the customers are picking her up at 11:30, so I have to be back and in the facility by 11:30 to make sure that happens. Of course, I have their phone number with me, so I could always call them if something happened, like traffic or something like that. Oh, that's a big hill coming up. Yes, that's a big hill. I don't want to go up a hill. Oh, this is my call out or my shout out to CBD oils, gummies, not the ones with THC. So I'm not talking although if you only have 3%, they're legal. But they really help my knee. My 56-year-old knee, I threw this knee out, my left knee out. Not that it matters about dog training, but hey, keeps you focused. Threw that knee out playing Frisbee golf with my son about 6 years ago. And for 4 years, I just lived with the chronic, 4.5 years, I lived with that chronic knee pain daily, 24/7. And then my son introduced me to the CBD oil, CBD gummies. And it's a game changer. I can go huge periods of time without even remembering I have a sore knee. Whew. Of course, sometimes going up, like when I'm in the Appalachian Mountains or Rocky Mountains, believe me, I can have a gazillion gummies. No, good girl. So, okay, that was perfect for training. So, no, good girl. She wanted to get a little ahead. Now, I was able to control her with both the praise method and the no method. And the reason why is we were coming up a hill and we didn't know what was on the other end of this hill. So I decided to play it safe. Whew. Good place to put a bench. Yeah, we just came up that dang thing. Nothing compared to the mountains, but I haven't been in the mountains for about a half a year, so I've lost my mountain legs. Anyway, so what the hell was I talking about? I was talking about I have to make sure I gauge these so that for the last mile, her and I aren't doing a run. It isn't too bad with all the shade and stuff. It is humid out, but it's not too bad right now. It's only about 9 a.m. So I'm going to say it's still in the upper 70s. So it hasn't hit the 80s yet. I'm going to say it's between probably 76 and 78 right now, which is actually really comfortable. But by 10, it'll probably be, in the 80s. And by 11, it'll probably be in the mid to upper 80s. It was 92, 94 degrees, God, whatever it was yesterday. So, of course, I didn't have an elite, all my training yesterday was done inside my facility, which is air conditioned, much better, but oh well. Anyway, let's get her, there's not much to do with her right now, besides maybe sit, stay, heel, good girl. Now this is a heel command, so she does actually have to stay by my side. Really with her, it's pointless for me to use it because she's gonna stay by my side anyway. Good girl, down, down, good girl, stay. You're so cute. You're so freaking, stay, down, stay, good girl. Just because I said you're so freaking cute doesn't mean you can break position. Good girl, stay, stay, good girl. Come on, down. Oh, the poppers. Oh, give me some loves. Give me lots of. Everybody knows I love the love. Love the kisses. Good girl. So we're taking advantage of that squirrel right now. Good, it's moving around. She sees it, but she's being perfect. Look how loose that leash is. Now, this would be one of those examples of why I put her on a leash. I wasn't worried about it, but why take the risk? Because if she were to take off into that off a leash without a leash dragging behind her, it would have been near impossible to catch her. So that was a great safety. I had actually just put her on leash, so that was very coincidental. I just put her on leash before we got to the squirrel. Because I'm intermittently throwing on-leash training in, which I've always talked about. It just keeps them honest. I mean, with Pizzazz, and we all know how wonderful Pizzazz is, I actually train her, I actually have her on leash and do commands with her every day. I think for the next mile and a half, we're just going to hoof it a little bit faster without too many stops, unless I see an opportunity, runner, dog, squirrel, deer, whatever. Because I would like to get to at least to the 3.5 mile mark no later than 9:30, which will still give me a good 2 hours to train her and get her back by 11:30. I always seem to cut it right to the last minute. I usually get there 3 to 5 minutes before I'm supposed to. All it would take was one traffic jam or one car accident or something like that. So we're also entering the busier area. This is where we're starting the biggest trail I'm on. It's the biggest trail here. Connects up with a bunch of the little trails right now. And a lot of people prefer the little trails. And we're getting a little bit later in the morning. It's after 9 o'clock now. So there's probably I'm going to start seeing more people who, of course it's a Friday. That's the one advantage I have with these customers, is they can drop the dog off on a weekday. A lot of my elite programs have to be done on a Saturday or Sunday morning. Down. Stay. Good girl.
Morning.
Stay. Good morning, guys. Stay. I was talking too much and I did not hear them coming, because you know my rule. I would have preferred to have her on leash just for the respect to them, but I didn't. And coincidentally and wonderfully, she listened perfect. So that would be an opportunity I'd have been looking to take advantage of with her. Those people actually are paid performers. They did that on purpose for me. No, okay, maybe not. Way up there. She's still off leash. So it wasn't that I was breaking my rule. It's I was yapping and gapping, so I didn't hear their footsteps. So that's kind of on me. That's the one problem with videotaping while I'm training. But anyway, see, they're taking the short trail now. The long trail will go to the right. And I mean, literally, I just mentioned we're probably going to come across more people now. Now, remember, she was allowed to sniff right now because she's not technically under a command. In fact, she wasn't on a command when those runners came up on us until I said down and stay. Then she was under a command. She did it on point perfectly. Once again, 2 massive thumbs up for the owners, 2 massive thumbs up for my little girl here, or their little girl, Elora. I'm just Uncle Chaz. I'm Uncle Chaz. Oh, da woo da. Oh, I'm Uncle Chaz. I'm Uncle Chaz. Good girl. Now that we're getting off the connection of that smaller trail, we have a little bit of room before this large trail connects with another smaller trail. But I'll turn the video off because, like I said, my main goal is to get to, at least to the halfway point. And that's at least another 1.5 miles away. I want to get to that point before I actually... Well, actually, I'm always training, I guess. I mean, that was a perfect example of always training. That's why Pizzazz listens so well, because I'm always training her. And that's why Elora is listening so well, because I'm always training her. And hopefully everybody who owns a dog shouldn't... You don't just train a dog a half hour a day. This is where the problem comes in. If you teach it, it has to be perfect for a half hour a day. That causes a problem with the other 23.5 hours a day when they learn, but you're not training me. You're talking to the neighbor. We're in a field. We're in a park. That's where the little spot checks, where like all of a sudden I'll say, sit, out of no reason, for no reason at all. I just felt like saying it. Good girl. You keep them honest. Keep them honest. Once they get this type of training in them. Good girl. Woojie woo woo woo. So I am going to give a quick visual with very little words on kind of my goal with dogs I own. Since everybody knows I spend a lot of time outside, a lot of time hiking, sometimes I just like to hike in quiet, in silence, which of course has backfired on me when you come up against a bear that didn't know you were coming several times, a couple bull elk. But anyway, usually I just want to enjoy the walk and I want to enjoy it with the dog. So I'm just going to kind of walk with her right now. She's not under a command. You'll only see me give her a command if she starts to stray a little bit, or looks like she's about to cause a problem, or if I decide to flex. But I just kind of want you to visually see what our goal is. Now remember, this is Elora's 5th drop-off lesson. So the elite program is literally designed in 5 lessons to have a dog able to listen off leash, even out here. So I'm going to shut up, which in itself is probably not going to happen, but I'm going to be quiet and just videotape her being such a wonderful little pupper. Good girl. Would you. Good girl. We are about at the 3-mile mark now. So I am falling behind, but it is hot and humid out here, so I am going to give her a little break on this bench here. And this way I can give her some water. Hi, little boobers. Oh, such a good girl. Yes, you are. Are you a cutest patootist in the patooniverse? Mm-hmm. Try to get my collapsible bowl off of here. There we go. And try to... Are you going to be a thirsty little girl? Well, I gotta let me get some water in there first, Angel. Yes, you do. I know. Oh, are you just gonna drink my sweat? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh, that's bug spray. We don't need bug spray. We need water. There we go. Thought I might. I brought bug spray along just in case, but nope. That is not fully extended yet. I thought I might need bug spray, but we have relatively been bug free. There you go. You can have that. Good girl. Once again, this is her. Good girl. That all you wanted? That all you wanted? You can have more. There we go. This is only her 5th lesson. She's off leash in a state park. Could be a national park. She is totally relaxed. I'm not concerned or well, I'm always concerned and worried, even with pizzazz. I'm not stupid. Once shit happens, the best laid plans of mice and men, gang off d'agley. Great poem, by the way. Oh, hi, baby. Gonna grab that pibble tail. Whittle, 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 whittle. Oh, that tail. Oh, good girl. Come here. Come here. Where are you? Come here. Hi. Hi. Oh, that's to the top of the bug spray. Thank you for finding that for me. I didn't even notice that fell off. Good girl. So we are past the halfway point. We probably have just under 3 miles to go. However, we also have less than an hour to do it. So we're going to actually have to pick our pace up to at least 3.5 miles per hour. not quite a power walking pace, but definitely a fast hiking pace. So to speed it up even more, I'm going to introduce what's called play training or speed training, meaning we're just going to move a lot quicker. Sit. Good girl. Throw some commands in there. It's actually a very important part of training because it speeds up a dog's reaction time. It gets them to pay more attention to you. So everything's like a jigsaw puzzle. Good girl, good girl. Change directions. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Sit. Down. Good girl. Let's good girl. And it also getting you a little faster along. Good girl. And then slow it down. She pays attention. So we're going to do a bunch of speed training for the next 3 miles. And that's what it is and why we do it. Sit. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Stay. Stay. Good girl. Come. Down. Down. Good girl. Stay. Come on, come on. Good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. Down. Good girl. Good girl, good girl. Whoosh, whoosh. Let's go. Let's go. Good girl. Good girl, good girl, good girl. Oh, whooshy, whoosh, whooshy, whoosh, whooshy, whooshy. Changing directions. Oh, come here. Come. Good girl, come. Good girl, good girl, good girl. Oh, do you want a water break? Good girl. Sit. Stay. We'll give you a water break in just a second. Heel. So, I get a lot of customers who call me up and they want the results of the elite program, meaning a dog that is literally listening off leash in the kettle moraine, running full speed, going into a down, sit, completely focused, good girl. But they want to they want to sign up for the basic program, but they want the elite program results. It's kind of like wanting to pay for a hot dog, but getting filet mignon. So that's why I always talk to people over the phone. Most of my conversations with pre-customers will be always phone calls so that they understand completely the difference between the basic, the advanced, and the elite course. So if your goal is to have a dog 24/7 for its entire life, because remember, Elora is just a puppy. I think she's only like 7 months old now. That can listen off leash, down, in the wild. Come on. Focused, not run away. You don't have to chase her. She's not barking. She's being a perfect little girl. If that's your goal, if you want that 24/7, 365 for 14 years, and I don't know why anybody wouldn't want that, the only program that can do it this quick is the elite program. The basic program and the advanced program can get you taught. It can give you the tools and teach you how to get your dog to this point, but you're not actually having me do it, which is why they're less expensive. And then if you have an aggressive dog, a fearful dog, or a dog with high anxiety, obviously you cannot do this course because of the fact that I kiss and love dogs so much during this course. I prefer not to be bit because I'd make a lapse of judgment. And then a basic course just isn't long enough. So basic, advanced, elite. If you want these type of results, listening even without a command, listening on a hand signal, and this is only her 5th 4-hour drop-off lesson. If you want these results, this is the elite course. If you want it this quickly, this swiftly, and you want me to do all the work. Good girl. So this is a perfect place for a water break. She handled the runners very well. And the reason this is such a perfect place for a water break is because I can see anything that's coming from that direction, and I can see anything that's coming from that direction. That's how I knew the runners were coming, so I snapped her on the leash real quick. I can see those 2 walkers coming. She got plenty of drinking in. You're all done? So we're going to go back because those other people are coming. I'll put her back on leash. Okay, so we have entered the last 1 mile. So we really hoofed it for the last 2 miles. So we've still got probably about 25 minutes to do this last mile. So we no longer have to move at 3.5 miles per hour. However, both her and I are going to just really relax. We're going to do about half of this off a leash. But because of the last half mile, we're going to be getting so close. Hi, baby girl. We're going to be getting so close to the parking lot and people and crap like that. And we talked about that. This is only her 5th lesson. So we got to take that in consideration. No matter how well she's doing, we got to remember this is only her 5th lesson. She's off leash in the Kettle Moraine. Good girl. Sit. So we'll just do some commands, some hiking, making sure she's walking at my speed, stopping, pay attention, not getting distracted. Good girl. Down. Seeing if she's prepared for anything. Come on. Heel. Good girl. And then in the last half mile, I'll just put her back on leash, finish the hike, and get her back to her owners. Okay. There's really not enough people in this parking lot for me to worry about having her off leash. We're done. Heading to the Jeep. Good girl. She'll probably fall asleep on the way home. Good girl. Oh, okay. Inside. Let's open up a window real quick, because it's to be warm in here. Oh, take off my battle gear. Oh, hi baby girl. I'm tired. I know you're tired. Oh my gosh, Kishy. Thank you. Okay, I'm coming in. Battle gear is off. Good girl. Thank you. Throw that over there. Oh my goodness. Oh, yes, I'm tired. Looks like a good day.